And joining us now is our good friend Jason Bridge from TxDOT Amarillo District, and he is here to give us a quick rundown of what we need to watch out for this back-to-school season to make sure everyone is safe on the Amarillo roads. And Jason, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Of course, just to start things off, can you tell us the importance of back-to-school road safety?
Yes, so, and y'all have talked about it plenty already. Amarillo IC goes back to school tomorrow. Canyon IC goes back to school on Wednesday. A lot of families are going to be on the roadway early in the morning. There's going to be a lot of emotions on the roadway, so
yes.
including ours. We're taking our 5-year-old for our first day of kindergarten tomorrow, so
Aww.
We're going to be the ones with a bunch of emotions going on. And there's a lot of things that are going to be happening tomorrow, but one thing that people shouldn't have to worry about when they're dropping their kids off or the younger drivers are going to school is the road safety, going through those school zones and abiding by those speed limit signs. So we really want to drive home the point about how important it is to, whenever you're going through these school zones. There's a number of schools in Amarillo ISD and Canyon ISD, and we want people just to give them a few tips about what they can do to really increase the safety of the school zones.
Of course, and here in Amarillo, where are the areas that have a lot of traffic right now?
Right, of course, and so a lot of those schools, of course, aren't on state-maintained roadways, but nonetheless, they're in school zones, and we want safe roads all over the district. Doesn't matter if they're state-maintained roadways or if they're owned by the city, county, whatever. We need them to be safe as possible. And so whenever you're going through a school zone, no matter which one it is, they're usually with flashing lights and with speed limit signs. Go that speed limit. That's the reason they're there. It's for the safety of the kids and the parents that are going to be in that area. And really watch out for the pedestrians that are going to be on the sides of the roads too, trying to get to school. Bicyclists that are going to be going to school. Really just slow. The biggest thing that I want everyone to know is slow down.
Yes.
Slow down, put your phone down. There's going to be a lot of emotions. There's going to be a lot of things happening of trying to get their kids to school and trying to get there safely. So whenever you slow down, you give people enough time to make decisions in case something happens, and make a decision that that gets everyone there safely. And that's the number one thing we want to do. So slow down. Put your phone down. Make sure if you're a pedestrian, you're only crossing at crosswalks. Parents, don't let your kids out in the middle of the street. That's not safe for anybody, for drivers or the kids getting out. Only go to designated sections and stay on the sidewalks as well. And that way we can have a safe back to school week.
And whenever it comes to talking to the kids, what should we tell them to have, just to make sure that they are staying safe when it comes to those drop-off zones? Right,
and one of the biggest things they can do is just because you see a driver sees the kid, or vice versa, doesn't mean they see each other. So eye contact is huge. Make sure you're seen. That's why I wanted to wear this. Make sure you're seen, and so that way it's not just that, oh, I see the driver, so you just assume that the driver sees them. That's not the case. Make sure that they see you and that you see them, and that way there's no miscommunication. Everyone's on the same page in case you need to cross or if some change needs to happen with the driver or the pedestrian. So, and if there is not a sidewalk where you're going to school, walk in the direction facing traffic so traffic can see you. So that way you're still off the roadway, but that way the traffic can still see that you're there. For drivers, watch and make sure that for groups of kids that may be waiting to get on the bus, make sure that you're keeping an eye on them, and also pay attention to school buses in the area too, because there's an increase of school bus incidents last year in school zones as well. So just give everyone some grace for students and parents going back to school this week, and that way we can all have a safe week.
And Jason, before we go, where can we go for more information?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to our social media pages. We've been sharing tips the last few weeks on what you can do to stay safe in our school zones on Facebook, Nextdoor, X, Instagram, all of them. Just some easy, safe driving tips that can really increase the safety of the school zones.
Jason, thank you so much for joining us on Studio 4 today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And before you go, who is looking for a cute pet? After spending nearly his entire life at Amarillo SPCA, Capone is still waiting for a family to call his own. That is, we help clear the shelters. Capone is a 10-year-old shepherd mix who has been at the shelter for about 9 years. Staff say he enjoys playing outside and relaxing in his bed. He's active and playful and does well with children and adults. Officials say he will need a home with a secure tall fence because he's known to be quite the escape artist. Capone was originally found abandoned in a house. And to learn more about Capone and the adoption process through Amarillo SPCA, visit our website myhighplains.com and stay with us. We have more Studio 4 on the way.